Hey. Welcome. Today we're going to discuss which coin will follow Elrond. Elrond has been doing really well recently, showing the perspectives and showing the reasoning why I'm interested in newer coins rather than older coins, while the older coins are also doing fine, obviously. Probably Elrond has seen his first move up, which is already 1000% move since March 12th in BTC value, almost 500%. And therefore we are going to discuss some altcoins we generally don't discuss. General notion is that in the upcoming week I'm going to be studying for my final reset, as I've had a 5.4 for my first initial attempt in January. I needed a 5.5 to finish my study. So my main focus will be on that. I'll just be continuing delivering the content on YouTube and providing some content on Twitter as well. But after this exam, the gear goes from the 4th gear towards the 6th gear, and then we're going to progress with everything in crypto and my content. So, general notion on altcoins is that first of all, I've seen some huge fights between Silica and Elrond. If I name them both in one video, that means that I don't give a shit whether they are screaming to each other or not. I'm an investor and trader, and I'm looking for good setups and content related to the investing, trading, economy and stuff. I'm not invested in or interested in any bitch fighting between two coins. So I'll just leave it to that. And if you ask me questions about it, I'll just not respond. I don't have anything to do with it. But don't FOMO. What I've seen in the past week is what I've seen in 2017 as well. When something goes up, everybody is jumping around to just get into the stack, and when it starts to retrace, no one is interested. But you should become interested in the retraces and the corrective movements and scale in from there, rather than jumping in on something that's moving already. If I tweet something about a certain coin, it's not for you to pull the trigger, it's for you to use the content for your own analysis. Generally, next to that, I'm also showing bearish perspectives on altcoins, in which I stated that coins like Silica, Verge, and Elrond could or have seen a correction, as nothing will go up in one go. Therefore, you should be realizing that on the short term the coins go down, and usually when there is a large move like Silica, these retraces can take several weeks, in which you get a discussion of whether you should hold this coin. It's providing clear signals that on the short term it's going to retrace, and if you're holding this coin for the next weeks while your whole portfolio runs down a little bit, you get the discussion of opportunity costs, as other coins are probably getting the FOMO. So you should be aware that if you're trading or investing, hopping between coins can compound your profits, in which you don't really lose anything. And if you just temporarily close a portion of your portfolio in an attempt to buy back in lower with a strategy, you can actually increase the accumulation and the size of your portfolio in a certain coin. As we have seen in the previous periods, it first went from Bitcoin itself towards Tether, and then it went towards Silica and Verge a little. Still is in Verge. Now we've got Elrond, we've got some coins around DeFi moving fast, and probably the next week some new coins will get the spotlight. And your goal is to be before that spotlight. As inside that spotlight, it's basically just only scalp trading or lower sizing trading. Finally, don't buy green candles in general. The best entry is generally gone, and your RR will be significantly lower if you start to buy inside already. You should be aware of that. So if you want to buy inside such a move, you should be not using your whole portfolio, but just a small portion. And I've seen some replies on my YouTube videos that people are already down 30% in Silica and they've put everything in it. I think you are far, far, far away from being a profitable trader or investor if you're doing that approach. Trading and investing is not a short-term game, it's a long-term game in which your emotional balance and portfolio risk management and discipline and patience are the 4 steps you should be tackling before you can actually continue and become a good trader. And that's why 95% loses. Today we're going to discuss content that can't be classified as financial advice, as it's only my own opinion. We're going to discuss 8 coins, in which one of the coins will be, or like some of the coins can have some longer discussion, while other coins can be discussed a little bit shorter, as they are being discussed in the previous videos, or just have a very clear view. So yeah, let's get to it, and we can actually start discussing these coins on the charts. Let's see, there we go. First one, Vertje. We pointed out earlier in the previous videos that it broke above the 100-day and 200-day MA, which is essential, with confirmed here as well inside a compression period. And after that, with this higher low, we started to rally, in which the 55 level flipped as support, after which the move substantially increased above this resistance zone of 66 and rally towards the next level, which we have marked around 100 sets. From that, I have stated that this OB is generally a level that you could be interested in some scalp plays, in which you could be assuming that we get something like this and some more consolidation. I think it's quite hard to say from here that we can continue rallying in one go, as we've just witnessed a pretty substantial impulsive wave to the upside. In general, I think we might be even correcting some more towards either of these 2 zones, in which everything between 63 and 66 is a level, and everything between 55 and 59 is a level. So if I check the daily time frame, I'm not too happy about this retrace and the all go towards that. If we check the lower time frames, if my trading view is working properly, we can see that there is a potential move likely to occur, in which you can see that we are testing this previous OB. Preferably you don't want to see it drop below 73 to 71, which is the low support of here. If we break above 80, 81, we could see a continuation move towards the resistance zones around 95 sets, as you as my computer is not working properly the right way. But 95 could be the next resistance zone if we hold here. So we might tap again the low, confirm the higher low here, and then we have the trade trigger, which you can bring us towards this resistance zone here. But the concluding on the daily time frame, we can see that there is not much right now. You want to see more confirmation. There's still a gap that's untested, and whether it's going to hold this green zone, that could be possible. But in that case, you want to see a clear structure and compression like a bull flag structure before you are taking this entry. Right now it's just going to take some time before we can run again, and we just need more confirmation on a daily time frame to take a trade. On a 4 hour, I've just stated what I'm expecting, and in general, after such an impulsive move, we could have like something like this, in which we make another rally, make a bearish divergence, and make a further larger retrace. But right now, on the daily, there's just not a clear signal, and we've clearly reversed after this impulse wave. Then, Celer. We know that Elrond has been doing really well and is actually around this level if you compare it. Celer is showing an increased impulse on volume, which states accumulation. Not entirely sure what market cap it is, as the Binance is stating something else than coin market cap. If we follow Binance, it's still 11-12 million, which makes it very easy for this one to pull a 3 or 4x. As we know, we are currently in resistance zone, which is basically the area here. You could also argue that we've got a resistance zone over here. So either way, everything here is a resistance zone. Still heavily in an uptrend, but might be short-term correcting a little bit. I've pointed out what I wanted to see. Well, the gray arrows we have already rallied through, in which we have a confirmation above the 100-day and 200-day MA, in which we were using a compression, test of resistance, support resistance flip, another test, breakout. And now we're back towards the range resistance over here, which generally should provide us a resistance. Preferably the entries that you could be looking for are 40 sets, and obviously this support resistance flip would be extremely nice to get, as then you can play this one, but probably you can play this one. So at the point there's no clear entry in Celer, but since I've been starting video or making videos on a daily view, this one is following the plan. I'm suspecting that we might get a retest in this area, in this OB. And if we get that, we just get a copy of this move here before we continue to move. So right now I think it's in close to take profit area, in which we might get a corrective move short term. If we get it, then the entry zones are there. This is still resistance zone. If we break above, I assume that everything between 75 and 85 is going to be the next resistance. If we break that, we might actually be rallying towards 150 in this first impulse wave, and then we're just doing the exact same thing as Elrond is doing. Berlin, lowest market cap of them all, generally. Nice flip here. Support resistance flip, another OB, and support resistance flip. Right now we're doing the exact same, so preferably you don't want to see it drop anywhere below this green zone. First, a resistance hurdle is found at 280 towards 300 sets. If we do this and consolidate some more, you could assume that we're going to rally and take the highs of February, in which I would not be surprised that if we flip the 280 level, like this scenario would be most likely to me, in which we just consolidate and continue a little bit, then break up, retrace, and continue the rally, just like we've seen here. So at this point it's also gone, and the entries are actually not there. But if you want an entry, it's either the 215 to 230 level, or it's the flip of this level at 275, which probably could benefit a few more times as a support. If it starts to rally substantially in these wicks like we've seen earlier, then the same concept applies. So if we see a rally like this, then the range resistance low here is support, and there you would be looking for entries. So Berlin is still one that's going to follow, I assume. Still lagging behind heavily. Currently fighting into resistance zones, but following the plan as well. And I generally appreciate coins that are following the plan. And then we've got a few short ones. Well, there's one which is basic attention token. Showing strength here finally after a really long time. Tested this previous level for support, as we have been discussing. Flipped this support here as support resistance flip. Similarly we did the same here. Similarly we're doing the same over here, in which we have established a range. And if we zoom out, we can see that we flipped this substantial support on a daily time frame here, which generally invites for further continuation. And if we make a pattern like this, in which we hold the 2400 level, I assume we are going to break above this range high and test the levels around 3070 and 3250, and might even rally towards 3800. So I think this is one of the coins that's also looking really well above the 100-day and 200-day MA, which is confluent with all the analysis we have made. CELR coin, a small one. Also been discussed in the first video actually. Support resistance flip still on the trend. Might actually wick a little bit lower than this green zone I've pointed. So this area around 31 to 34 could be an entry zone. Currently we're testing this previous range high for support, which is likely to hold, I assume. If we hold here, we can just continue towards the target area. If we lose this, I'm assuming we continue to fall down towards the next level, and then you should probably be out and target 27, 25 for a potential entry. If we flip this, then continuation is likely. Then the coins that we've not been discussing quite often, which is one of them is Ocean. In this structure you can see that we had deviation here in an accumulation range, higher low, and SR flip, higher low, SR flip, higher low and retest actually. SR flip from this previous range and previous high, and right now we are inside a structure that's not really inviting too much for an entry, as we have been tapping this support already for many times. You preferably want to see something like this, and this is your trigger. You can enter here and take the stop below this wick. If we do a structure like this, it seems likely that we're going to take the highs above the resistance here, and if we do take the highs, I think we can actually target 1130 as first target zone and 1470 as second target zone, based on Fibonacci extension. What's the next trigger you can watch for is just lower time frames bearish divergence, like we've seen on this one probably, or like this. And if you start to rally heavily to the upside in a daily structure, you can use the 2-hour or 4-hour candles to navigate through the trend, in which you can see the OBs and just support levels there, and then you can move your stop loss upwards to defend yourself. So this is not really too much inviting. If we tap the support back again, I'm assuming we might be testing in this range, and that's basically the final hurdle that has to hold. So if we make the downwards drop, you want to see something like this, and then this is your trigger, or the reclaim of this green level is going to be your trigger, in which we can continue targeting the same levels. Then we've got NIMIC, which I've charted here actually. NIMIC, we've had a very long accumulation range, as you can see, for over a year. After that, we've seen the exact same occurrence as on many coins, impulsive wave to break out of the range, in which we are currently going to test where we can find support. And there's basically two levels that you could be watching. One of them is found here, which is the level at 2000. The best possible entry is probably a wick as 13 or just 15-17 zone, which is below the range low here. So if you want to accumulate, then we are getting towards a level that you want to start accumulating, in which you can take both levels. If we get this entry, that would be nice. If we lose 12, 13 on a higher time frame, then we're probably continuing. But this whole range is accumulation range. You want to start become interested, as probably we get something like this, and then we continue the rally later on inside compression in this period, just like we see over here, and then we might be taking this high over here. So 20 is 1 and 12 to 13 is 1. Then we've got AERGO, one of the coins that being replied many times on the charts or on the requests. Also thank you for the FA that's being sent to me. I don't do too much with FA yet. I'm going to do that when I professionalize my YouTube, and then we're going to discuss content to help you out with trading, so basics on trading. I'm going to build a course on trading, multiple ones. Workshops are going to be there. The group will be more professional. We're going to make videos on the monetary and economy system and financial system, and we're going to do fundamental stuff on coins as well. So this, I want to be the go-to place if you are interested in crypto or the financial system, and not only trading. What we see here on AERGO is that we have deviation, right? And we have reclaimed the previous resistance or previous support for confirmation, through which you can actually make an inverse head and shoulders. Now, what we don't want to lose is this green OB or this compression period. So we might wick in this level. If we hold here, that's going to be a trigger. If you make a double bottom, also fine. Then next after that, we see that we are still fighting against the resistance level, which is from here. Now we have witnessed a large peak here, and now we are still basically downtrending, right? But we see some signals that are going to be okay. So if you want to get full confirmation that you're outside of the downtrend, you want to take this high. As when the next high comes, which could be like very high from here, you can actually deploy the buy the dip structure. I'm not sure how the MAs are doing, but probably these are still quite far away. Let's see. Ah, we're getting close to them. Actually, that's a very good signal. For the first time in history, we are in between the 100-day and 200-day MA. Alright, so then we do see that we might wick into this green zone. You don't want to lose the 28,800 level. And then you want to continue the grind to the upside. So right now we are inside the same structure as we have seen on Celer, right? So Celer has been in this structure as well. And after that you can see that we broke out and test the range high. So what's most likely to be expected is that we retest 28.7. And then after this compression period we break out and we're going to test the range high. And as you can see from basic history, the next resistance levels are here, which is 41.4 and 48.2. So most likely is that we expect some move like this, and then after that some compression and some support, higher low, 100-day, 200-day MA, extra bullish confirmation, and more test in resistance, and then we continue to rally, and the next move up can be towards 700 sats, which is from here about 135%. So if we come to a conclusion of this video, I think AERGO can be a really good one to follow. Elrond and also the other IEOs can do well. Basic attention token can do well. CELR coin is still trending up. Ocean has to hold the level. Nimic is probably in by the dip zones. And I want to thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a new video on a live stream. And if you like the video, please like or subscribe to the channel. And yeah, stay in touch. Thank you.